coming to you live for the Built Ford Tough Studio. Boomer Esiason and Greg Giannotti. It's Boomer and Gio on the Fan. Simulcast across the country on CBS Sports Network. And wherever you are in the free Odyssey app. Good Wednesday morning, July 31st. The last day of July. How did that happen? How did we get here? Summer is flying by like it tends to do. Time flies when you're having fun. And the Yankees and Mets right now having fun. They've had their ups and downs, but 2 more wins last night. And a trade deadline where both general managers found a way to improve the team, but certainly didn't give up a ton, didn't get a ton, but some Band-Aids here and there. That big move was not made. You didn't see the Blake Snell deal for either the Yankees or the Mets, but I co-sign everything these 2 general managers have done. I'm saying that right now this morning. I co-sign. I'm not screaming about David Stearns not going all in. I'm not screaming about Brian Cashman not going all in. I think that the Yankees, as presently constructed, are good enough to win the division and get to the ALCS. And I think the Mets are presently constructed to be good enough to obviously not win the division, but to get into the postseason and do a little damage as well. And it's going to be a fun ride into October. We also have a new Hard Knocks to talk about from last night. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, G, and I concur with everything you just said. I mean, reasonable, practical, and Jazz Chisholm
there you go.
is already had a major impact on this team. And I just have to agree even further with you in regards to what David Stearns has done with the Mets. I mean, you know, he's tried, he's churning, he's burning, he's bringing arms and brings in Winker. You know, the substance of the Mets, and maybe they'll get Starling Marte back at some point here too as well. The substance of the Mets are their core players who got off to a horrific start. Their bullpen has been a mess all year long. We know that. And all I can say is that it's not like David Stearns is sitting on his hands. He's working.
Oh, he hasn't been the entire year.
No, I mean, he's working. I mean,
Yeah.
He's been trying. And he's also trying to protect the future, which is really a unique situation. So remember when Steve Cohen said, you know, I still believe in this team, and David Stearns kind of said the same thing. And it was after, I think, about a month of the season where they were just horrific and one of the worst teams in baseball, as they were at the bottom of the wild card chase.
Yeah, they were one of the 2 or 3 worst teams in the National League, and I remember that Steve Cohen tweet that he thought was a DM to somebody, basically saying that the team was going to get blown up at the trade deadline. I mean, things were bleak.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. You sit here and you sit behind these microphones and you try to keep the emotion out of it, but how can you if you are a hardcore fan like we are? If you are a fan of a team who's not playing well, you start now thinking about, okay, here comes the trade deadline. What are they going to do at the trade deadline? Well, to the credit of the players that turned this season around, they forced the team to make additions. All those additions aren't, you know, spectacular. They're not the Dodgers, what the Dodgers did. I would just tell you that, you know, when I look at the National League for the Mets, you know, obviously the Phillies are going to be a pain in the ass. The Dodgers are going to be a pain in the ass, but everybody else they can hang with. I believe they can hang with.
Yeah, I agree. And now we've got to this point where they're 7 games over 500. They're playing great baseball. And now if they don't make the playoffs, it's going to be a disappointment. I mean, we have gone from if they make the playoffs, it's a miracle, to now they've played so well. If they don't make the playoffs, it's going to be a disappointment. And it's certainly no lock because everything is jumbled up. I mean, there are a ton of teams that are playing really well in the National League right now. 6 teams for 3 spots, and everybody seems to be winning. Now, I don't think the Pittsburgh Pirates are going to be hanging around. They tend to fade. I would be shocked if they ended up making it. But the Mets are just as equipped as anybody out of those 6 and including the Atlanta Braves with the injuries that they have had, to get the number 1 wild card. So that right now, Yankees win the division, Mets number 1 wild card. That's what we're looking at this morning.
Okay, so I'm just I'm glad for what we do for a living that these teams are going to stay relevant. That they did what they did at the trade deadline. I think we all were understanding of what the Mets tried to do last year at the trade deadline, which we all felt like was the right thing to do. And I felt like, you know, this wasn't for the Mets. It wasn't all in. I think the Yankees also felt like if they can get all of their guys back and they don't have body fatigue when it comes to their starting.
Well, it sounded like a stomach virus, didn't it?
Right.
Is that what they came up with finally?
Maybe, I don't know. I heard body fatigue, and I didn't know if it was a stomach virus or
Well,
not.
it was the first thing they said was body fatigue. But didn't somebody come out like Brian Hoke of MLB and say it was a stomach virus? Guys, isn't that what happened? Anybody? Hello?
Anybody?
I did not see that, but
You
I'll
didn't
check
see
Hope's
that?
Twitter.
We could check. We could
All
check
right.
on that. We'll check on that.
All right.
Our crack staff will be all over that. But I felt that the Yankees were going to be there anyway, but the Jazz Chisholm addition has turned out to be spectacular thus far. I mean,
Yeah.
spectacular. And last night's win for them was a great win. It was a sleepy 4-1 lead that the Phillies had, and you're thinking, okay, the Phillies are probably going to come win this game, and all of a sudden the Yankees come screaming back and they end up winning in 12. And it's a tremendous win for them, and it's one of those wins that you win a game where you didn't think you're going to win it, but when your season turns around, like it feels now, like the Yankees have won 4 in a row, their season is starting to turn back the other way.
Right.
That's what it feels like. And, they add a couple pieces, and next thing you know, if they get everybody back and they get their starting lineup lengthened, they're going to be a bitch to play against, and I still feel like they're going to the World Series. Whether or not they'll win it against I'm thinking the Dodgers or the Phillies, if it's not the Mets, that we'll have to wait till we get here and see what their team looks like in terms of health. But they're loaded, man. They are loaded, and Chisholm has been the elixir, if you ask me, to the energy problems that they've had.
Yeah, and that was a big deal. Now, I see 4:50 yesterday afternoon, Brian Hoke, Garrett Cole has been dealing with a stomach virus for several days, Aaron Boone said.
So what is body fatigue about? What's that all? Where does that come?
I don't know. I have no idea. Well, I don't know why they didn't just say illness, but they went with body fatigue. But as far as Jazz Chisholm and the energy, yes. I mean, that and that right there, I think, Brian Cashman identifying that this team was basically shot. They were dead. They had nothing. I mean, outside of Soto and Judge, everybody was just laying down and taking a nap. And they bring in Chisholm, who is someone that maybe, wore out his welcome in Miami. He was tired of being on a team that generally loses and plays in front of nobody. And now he gets thrust right in to huge series against good teams, against the Red Sox and the Phillies on the road. Now he gets to come back to Yankee Stadium. I mean, just like he is re-energized the Yankees, it's like being on the Yankees has re-energized him.
Is Mark Leiter trade for the Yankees, is that like a Greg Van Roten signing for the Giants?
Yeah, local ties. I suppose. I mean, you got it's the nephew of Al, obviously the son of Mark, so... you got that, and now
we should be excited about that, right? Are we handling it the right way? You think this morning?
I don't know if the lighters
we're handling that.
I mean, are the lighters happy that we have we addressed it in the way that we need to address it?
I hope we have, and I hope everybody's happy and feels good because it looks like it's going to be another nice day today. Maybe a few thunderstorms a little bit later on.
I'm worried about the thunderstorms.
Okay,
washing us out.
All right,
I don't need to see that. By the way, Mark Leiter Jr. might end up being the closer because we have another Clay Holmes alert.
Yes, I know. Well, that's going to go on for that's going to go on for the next 2 months.
Better not. Better not.
Maybe there could be some tired arms. You never know. One of these guys gets put on the shelf for a couple weeks.
Aaron Judge did step up and have his back in a big way, which was...
That's what captains do.
Yeah, exactly. Leadership. Stepping up, having your guys back. But I wouldn't expect anything else from Aaron Judge. I mean, what is he going to say? Like, oh, this guy stinks. We've had enough. If he doesn't get any better, we're going to ship him out. Trade deadline, we brought in some arms. We're not dealing with this crap. We're a championship team. We don't need Clay Holmes spitting up on himself in the mound.
But is there a more of an example of a relief pitching situation than Michael Tonkin? I mean, that
He's
in
the
itself,
personification.
Yeah, personification of relief pitching at Major League Baseball.
Right, yeah. I think that's fair.
And that's what's going on. Now, I know that there are teams out there like Arizona and the Dodgers that really refortified and restocked their team. I feel like the Dodgers signed a whole nother roster.
Well, I mean, this is, I mean, you want to talk about all in. I mean, my God. I mean, that franchise, no matter what it is, off-season, trade deadline, whatever, I mean, they are just wheeling and dealing and paying and trading and just... And they've got one World Series, and it was the COVID season. So what does it mean?
It's like the Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you win it during the COVID season, the bubble championship.
Don't feel like it matters.
Yeah, but it does.
Doesn't.
It still does.
It does, but not in the way that a regular.
But it does.
It does, but it doesn't.
It does.
You know, it's like winning. It's like winning your club championship at your country club. Like, it's great
For you, but
you didn't
nobody,
win the Masters.
But nobody does. Yeah,
nobody cares.
Nobody cares.
Right. I mean, it's great for you guys that you had that moment, but really nobody cares.
Nobody cares, right?
Yeah. That's sort of what it's like, right?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a little bit more than that. I mean, they still did have to play against other professional basketball players and other professional baseball players, just didn't have to do it in front of somebody. Like the NFL, same thing.
But they only had a 60-game season.
I have to tell you, it was the weirdest thing ever when I did the Cardinal-Rams game out there at SoFi, and there was nobody there. Just me and Jim Nance.
That's right.
Hi, Jim.
Just the two of you.
Yes.
Two of you and the players.
Just talking football.
Yep. You just blowtorching Chris Strevler.
Yeah.
And pissing off all of Canada.
Well, hey, listen. It's like when I was in here last week, and you had you and Stu Gotts in here.
Yeah.
Stu Gotts was blowtorching everybody around here.
He was.
I mean, and it got headlines.
It certainly did.
So I'm telling you the same thing. Nobody cared about this particular game between the Cardinals and the Rams.
Yeah.
And it got headlines.
And yes, it did, and certainly in Canada.
Oh, 100%.
You made big-time headlines in Canada.
Yeah.
I mean, and they still, to this day, have not let it go.
Right.
And by the way, you know where Chris Strevler is right now?
In Canada.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. And by the way, I'm happy for him. You know why? Because he loves to play football, and he's in the right league for what he does.
Yeah.
He had a nice little cup of coffee for the NFL and did some things and had a chance to get on an NFL field and play. And everyone take that lightly. But my point was you just cannot throw the ball late down the middle when you're playing in the NFL because the field is more condensed and the players are far better.
Yeah.
And they are ball hawks. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a personal thing. It was an observation from somebody who's played the game who did that same stupid thing when he was a young kid and ended up paying a price for it.
By the way, just a little bit of an update from yesterday. We obviously had the spillage from Danielle McCartan. She spilled hot chocolate, and it went down like a little hole in the plexiglass and started to stink and fester, and we decided to clean it because we couldn't deal with the stench and the mess yesterday. Well, they came in. They did a deep clean.
Deep clean.
They moved some stuff around. But the scuttlebutt around here is that the engineers were not happy that we did it ourselves. And this is what I'm telling you. When everybody tells me that I'm allowed, hang the pictures in your office, I'm not allowed to.
Let me just
explain something. They get very, very touchy about these things.
Let me explain something.
Yeah.
Love the engineering group. Love all those guys.
They're the best.
They're part of a union.
Yeah.
And they have a million things that they're doing over there. It's not like they're sitting around doing nothing.
They don't need to be cleaning stuff.
I know. And there should be a cleaning crew that would be responsible for all of these studios. And I know that Youssef, who we love, the happiest man in America.
Right. I think he's the happiest man in Morocco right now.
Yeah, but by the way, he's on vacation.
Yeah.
So he's not around. And he's more of a building employee than he is an Odyssey employee or a WFAN employee.
Exactly.
So we took the bull by the horns because it has been messy in here for quite some time, and we have made mention of that many times right here. And the only time anybody reacted to anything is when we did what we did yesterday.
Exactly.
So everybody can just cool their jets, just relax, and it finally got effing done. That's the way I look at it. Finally, after 5 years, finally got done. We finally got a deep clean.
Yeah, I mean, and this is the prime example of you want something done right, you do it yourself. That's what it was.
Sometimes you got to do it. And that's why I'm saying, like, I don't.
How long would that
shut your door in your office and hang your stuff on the wall? Because
hey,
guys,
can't do it.
Gio needs stuff hung on his wall. Can I say it any louder?
No,
and can I say it any more?
I can't now. I'm not allowed to do it. Not allowed. Actually, you know what's funny? The architect walked by the office the other day, and he goes, do you need me to schedule a hang?
That's unbelievable. Yeah, schedule a hang.
And I was like, schedule a hang?
Yeah.
That does not sound good. When you are
but let me ask you a
the
question.
General manager here, the market manager, and you're scheduling a hang?
But so if you schedule a hang, are you relying on the engineer's ability to hang the stuff on the wall the way that you want it hung if you're not here?
That's yeah.
I mean, do these guys have some sort of design background or no?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know if it's the Property
I get my
Brothers.
friend Lori Fleischhacker right in here, bang, she'd hang that stuff up, and you'd be really happy.
No, I know. Well,
you know that because she worked on your house.
She did. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I mean, but the other day I picked up one of those things. I tried to put it up on the wall, and I go, no.
Well, who said no? Who said
do
that?
I don't want to out that person.
All right, just shut your door. Listen,
just don't do it.
First of all, just shut your door.
Okay, but
just shut your door and do it.
But it's glass; you can see through it. It's a problem.
Listen, when you get here get here half an hour early one day, and we'll do it together.
But then they're going to know.
I don't care if they know.
We did it.
And what happens then?
We're in trouble. They don't like it. We're already on the crap list for the engineers. They already hate us.
They shouldn't hate us. We do not.
We were unplugging stuff. We weren't allowed to unplug.
That's true.
It's caused a lot of consternation back there.
See, I haven't heard any of it. I haven't seen anything. But I have to say, it's a very flowery smell in here.
Oh, it's great as compared to yesterday.
Oh, yeah. It smells great in here. And I'm thinking maybe we should get a diffuser or two.
A diffuser?
Yeah.
Or two,
because we can't do candles.
No, you can't do that. Incense, maybe, something like that. I can't do that.
Can't do that either. That's why
you need burning stuff.
That's why you need a diffuser.
Diffuser. Yeah, we'll get a couple of those
you have diffusers around your house?
I don't. No diffusers. No.
Diffusers are nice. Put them in the bathroom.
Yeah, just plug them in, right?
No, not that kind of diffuser. The ones with the sticks.
Oh, those.
And then you can turn the sticks over.
Gotcha.
And they last. It's pretty nice.
I gotcha. All right, this is Boomer and Gio on the Fan and CBS Sports Network. Just getting started. Lots of baseball, lots of football. I watched the Hard Knocks this morning when I got in. Kind of boring, I got to say. Nothing really happened, but there is one thing in there that was hilarious to me and something you have brought up before.